question. Can I ask another question?
Now this question you asked to others. At least there is one more question. Afterward we will see. Yes, please. Yes, please. Come on. हाल की जो ऐसा थोड़ा तैयारी हो गई कि नहीं? I am waiting for your papers to be completed before you leave. Not that I want you to depart, but because the task there is so important, this is why I am interested in your preparation. Please.
2 भी दिन
लग गए हैं और बाकी तैयार हो करीब आ गए हैं. अच्छा. So before that, I want to have a session with you before you leave, of course. Are you all right? अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है quite ठीक. हाँ जी, please.
A couple of questions I'd like to ask. When you were just discussing the laws of nature, question came to my mind. It's been my observation that in the Holy Quran, those laws of nature which seem to be very fundamental, which have, if you like, very deep philosophical and religious overtones, always seem to be hinted in the Quran. For example, there always seems to be some hint in the Quran about these. For example, Big Bang, creation, and evolution, things like this. Now, one of the things that Professor Salam is working on these days, another scientist, is the possibility that the universe could be 11-dimensional. And this, of course, would be very fundamental. I'm just wondering, to your knowledge, is there anything in the Quran which hints at more than 4 dimensions?
Yes.
11 dimensions or whatever.
The fact is that the concept of heaven and hell has been discussed in the Holy Quran in a manner that this question was automatically created. When the Holy Quran told us that the limits of heaven cover the entire limits of the universe, the whole thing, the whole space, a question was immediately raised in the minds of Sahaba, the companions of the Holy Prophet, asking him about the placing of hell. One of the companions said, Ya Rasulullah, according to the Holy Quran, Ardu Samawatu wal Ard, that is the whole, the dimensions of heaven, cover everything which is created by you. So where is hell then? Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam answered, they coexist, but you cannot realize, cannot understand what's happening. That was exactly the answer in the direction of the 5th dimension. In the different dimensions, the space-time can be occupied at one time by different things without crossing each other's path. They are happening simultaneously but completely detached from each other, because another dimension has been added, as if a stepping platform is provided where they don't come into clash with the main stream of things. Addition of a dimension is like providing you a stepping space in a narrow tunnel through which the train is passing so often. When you step aside, then the train is passing without hurting you. So the dimension provides exactly the same thing. Now, in two-dimensional world, when you cross your fingers, anything which is here will always clash with something coming in this direction. But in the three-dimensional world, it's not necessary. A thing can be here or there, and in every direction, a new direction is added to all these three, and a volume is created in space. So just addition of one dimension is a huge phenomena which creates so many things and possibilities. And the possibilities of coexistence without knowing each other's presence. So this has been mentioned when the Holy Quran says about the heavens, Arduha samawatu wal ard. The heaven is coexisting with us here in this space-time, and also hell is coexisting here with us in this space-time. How could it happen in four-dimensional world? It's impossible. Only in a world, it could happen in a world which was beyond the four dimensions. Similarly, the Holy Quran repeatedly uses the term وَلَكِنْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ. At certain occasions it means ordinary things, that of such things you have no knowledge. But at other occasions it tells us that you are incapable of conceiving it because that is beyond you. Those are again the indicators of some new dimensions of which you have no knowledge. For instance, when the Holy Quran says وَلَكِنْ أَحْيَاءٌ وَلَكِنْ بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ وَلَكِنْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ, about the mortals, that they are live but you cannot perceive. Now there is something where I think, this is my personal opinion, that some new dimension is mentioned. They are live here, but you're incapable of perceiving this. You're living a different world and they are living a different world. Similarly, there are other references about this where you can positively draw the conclusion that different dimensions are being mentioned by the Holy Quran or by the tradition of Rasulullah.
Is there any particular number of dimensions? Is it just general?
No, so far I don't know, but keeping this in mind, during the course of study, one may come across a verse where different dimensions, number of dimensions is increased. Now, there is one verse which could be indicative, and that is that in the Holy Quran it is said that there are four valencies, angels with four wings, and also it is said that Allah can create angels with more wings. And at one other place it is said that at the time of resurrection, the whole universe the weight of the whole universe, the whole throne of God, that is the universe, would be carried by 8 angels. Now what are the words? याद है हाफिज साहब आपको? हाफिज साहब हैं यहाँ? There the number is multiplied.
Yawma is in Samaniya.
Yawma is in Samaniya. Samaniya. 8 angels are not mentioned, but 8, just 8, the figure of 8 is mentioned, which is double the figure of 4, which is happening in ordinary laws of nature here. So if by wings you mean you understand the word to have the meaning of dimensions, then at least we know of 8 dimensions. When we die and revive, then with these 4 dimensions we will not be able to gain a greater and larger vision of things or understand God better. Something must be added to our faculties to create that enhanced effect and the breadth to our vision and senses. So by that Samaniya, I understand that either new faculties would be added to us, or maybe new dimensions are created if the figure 4 is taken to be